What's your story? What's your story? What's your story? What's your story?
Brad, what is your story?
What's your story? What's your story?
Welcome back, everyone, to another week of What's Your Story?
We're already back here again.
It's been a whole week. It flew by.
God.
We've lit the incense, everyone, so we can now officially start.
We finally lit the incense, and we're contemplating maybe lighting a candle.
We are.
It's an overcast day, a little bit chilly today, which is
just cozy.
which we love here in LA.
We do.
When it's overcast for a minute.
And in case you guys, this is the first episode you've listened to of What's Your Story, and you don't know who the hell is talking right now, my name is Chrissy Carpenter, and I am sitting with
Brad Bird.
And we comprise What's Your Story?
What is your story today, Chrissy?
What is my story today? My story today is I'm debating whether my side hustle job, if I should leave it and get another one. So I'm kind of like going over my options in my brain. Should I leave it? Should I not leave it? What should I do?
I love the fact that you said the word hustle. You know, it's like the side hustle. Everything is just like a hustle.
I feel like that should have been my middle name.
You know, is it exhausting or is it kind of fun, though, in a way? Because it's like,
If
there are people that have the side hustle.
Right.
And then there are people that just have a job.
Yeah. No,
you know,
my
and
life
they're
is
just
like
and they're
17
just like,
jobs.
They go to their job, they go home, and they just like,
You know what? I don't know what that
they
kind
eat
of
a
life
big
is
fucking
like.
bowl of pasta and watch TV, and they're like totally content in life. And then there's, us
Right.
doing side hustles.
I've honestly thought about what would it be like if I just went to one job all day and then came home. It's such a weird foreign concept to me because I've really never done that.
You mean like the majority of the planet?
Right. Because I do like a podcast with you, right? And I'm an actress and I go on auditions and then I have my show that I do and then I'm in comedy class and then I'm writing a miniseries.
You
and
define the word hustle.
My quote unquote side hustle. So I don't know if I would be happy. I mean, if my one job was like going to set for a fucking amazing movie and then I come home at the end of the day or I'm on a series or something, I'd be down.
But isn't the variety, like the variety is the spice of life, right? It's like, isn't it fun to just sort of kind of, but you know what though? There's a pain threshold with that, because unfortunately with the side hustle and the variety is the non-commitment, you know what I'm saying? Which comes with that is not a lot of money.
Right. I mean,
unless you're pulling off, unless you're one of, one in a million really pulling off that like dream thing where you are able to bounce around and still make a ton of money doing stuff.
Yeah, no, I
guess
totally
is
concur with that.
What the end goal is. Because even if you're doing super well, I don't know what that noise is. But
guys, we're in a garage in Highland Park, and there's like a party going on outside. It's probably like a tourist group, and they heard about our podcast already, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is where What's Your Story shoots out of." In that garage.
I should be like a total dick and just open the garage door. Be like, guys, we're taping inside, like we're like some fucking special people. Like anyone cares.
Right.
But yet I totally feel like that's like, don't they know this is the What's Your Story?
Hello.
This is where
I mean, we should get a sign and put on the outside of the garage. We could. That we just hang when we're shooting and we're like, quiet please, shooting.
I mean, Mark Maron's
he's
down the street. Mark Maron's down the street. He's getting, people are respecting his garage.
Exactly.
We're not there yet.
What if you just had a sign that said respect the garage?
We should just, what we should do? I think Mark Maron has this too. It's like we should put a sign on the outside of the garage that says in session.
I completely agree.
Put like a little red light on or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
To let people know that we're doing absolutely nothing
right
now.
Brad,
we're hustling.
What's your story today?
My story is I'm feeling a little tired. I'm coming over a little bit of a sickness.
Okay.
Weird. Colds seem to last a lot longer now than ever before.
Is it because you're older?
Could be. That could definitely be the reason. But no, I feel like the strands of the colds are like so much more intense now.
Okay.
And when I was younger, I used to get a cold and like a day or two later you bounce back and you're fine. And now I'm just like, I get a cold and I prepare myself for the reality that for the next week I'm going to have this cold.
And you like get the box of really comfy Kleenex.
But then there's this like weird, demented fun part about like just how much snot you have to blow out of your body.
Right.
Like there's something twisted about it, but then again there's like this like fun, because it's like, hey, I'm constantly snot's coming out of me, but yet it happens to like kind of like an overcast day.
Right.
It's like it's rare.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I have this opportunity to like
Blow a lot
my
of snot
nose and
out of your nose.
just as a bizarre thing.
I always find it weird when you have a cold, and this is what drives me insane, is your nose is so stuffy and you blow everything out, and it's good for like 3 seconds. And then in that 3 seconds, I'm like, oh, the world is good. And then it all comes back, and I'm like, I fucking hate having a stuffy nose.
Yeah, and it just all accumulates between like your brain and like your neck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the strangest thing. It's just like weird. How did you accumulate?
Gosh, how do we not have a cure for the common cold yet?
I mean, it's honestly getting more intense. Flus are getting more intense.
Are they?
Yeah.
I, knock on
and
wood.
you know what? I'm still waiting for the
When's the last time you had the flu?
4 years ago.
I haven't had the flu, and I would say probably like 7 years is the last time I had the flu.
Yeah. It's...
Did you flip your mic around?
I think I might have.
You flipped your mic around.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Phew. You're back.
I was like, wait a second. I was like, does the cold kick back in, or is that the microphone? Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I moved back to Los Angeles. No joke, because I
More
was
agreeable weather.
in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And my wife and I got hit with the flu.
Ugh.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Gnarly. I felt like I was like in 5th grade again. I was like literally bedridden for 4 days.
And you lose like 5 pounds. Ugh, and it's so hard to get it back.
That's a good part. I love the flu.
Well,
no.
okay, not me.
But a couple of good things that happened with the flu. At the time, I was smoking cigarettes. And
You smoked cigarettes,
yeah.
Bradford?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
What about your lungs?
I know. I was convinced it made me even sing better, but that's a total
what?
myth. Total myth.
Yeah.
I like it was like a little extra rasp in there, but it's not true. So, anyways, it was so gnarly, and I was like, how am I getting the flu like this? This is crazy, you know. And I'm just like, you know what? Winter is gnarly, you know. It's like if you can make it through winter, it's sort of like Game of Thrones. Like winter's coming.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan.
New last season, June.
Is it the last one?
Last season. They're splitting into 2 seasons. It's one big long season, but they're splitting into 2, and that's it. But they're going to be some spin-off series, though.
Who's the writer for it again? Tolkien or something like that? J.R.R. Tolkien?
No, I think that's another guy.
That's
another fantasy person. That's like Lord of the Rings.
I mean, I guess they just keep putting this huge pressure on him to keep writing or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that,
we're already past the books. No, he's writing on his own terms.
Well, it's like I love the pressure that we put on these people. Like, come on, dude, keep coming up with the
He's
fucking most amazing rad shit ever, constantly.
He's like 7 books that are 1,000 pages each is not enough thus far.
Right. It's like the dude's like fucking 70 years old. It's like give him
how much? Okay, have you seen what he looks like?
A break.
Have you seen what he looks like?
I saw like he's like heavier dude, and like beard,
long hair.
shit.
Yeah. How many girls do you think he started knocking down once Game of Thrones came out onto HBO? Do you think women were just like throwing themselves at him?
I don't think so.
I do. I don't find him attractive at all, and I would not throw myself at him. But I absolutely think because he wrote Game of Thrones that there was tons of chicks, especially ones who dressed in costume at Comic-Con, who probably were on his doorstep like, hey.
Really?
I'll be your Sansa Stark, whatever.
Wow.
Oh, I totally think so.
I mean, is fame and money and power just? I mean, does it command the women even if you're like?
I think I hate to say it, but I think it does have a big influence. But I think it goes both ways, men and women.
Yeah, I don't see men.
If you had some like super hot, famous chick with lots of money who was like, "Come on, Brad, just one night. I'm not gonna tell anyone. Just come on. I need someone who can handle business. Just come lay it down for me."
Those are like there's dudes out there that fall into that category, but they're like super weirdos.
Yeah. So men, you don't think men fall for that as much as women?
No, definitely not.
All right. Well, yeah, I do think women fall for it.
Women can roll with like a fatter, older dude.
No, you're right. If he's got money,
I mean,
absolutely.
Obviously, we've seen that. You know, I mean.
It
kind of works. Like they don't care. But like you're not going to see a dude rolling with like a older, fatter woman. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know. No, that's where the cougar comes in. That's where it comes from. You get your young man who's like 25.
This is beyond cougar. This is beyond
No,
cougar.
she was like 25 and she's like 65 years old and she pays all his fucking bills and he's just got to like nail her from the back a couple times, you know, maybe twice a week.
If he's capable of doing that.
Why would he? Okay, give me a fucking break. Men think about other shit during sex all the time. So don't.
As long as the guy doesn't have to do anything.
He needs to put his penis inside of her, Brad.
Just lay there.
No, he needs to make her feel like she's the boss of her coochie. And then she's
Right.
going to pay all his damn bills, give him a little expense account, whatever you want, babe.
Sure.
Yes. Young 25-year-old men, yes. Who are broke and shit out of college, yes. Maybe not you, Brad. You're established.
Wait, that's my inner dog. I just got fired up.
Yeah, you did.
Just got me excited.
You just thought about it.
So we have an awesome guest
We do.
today.
Speaking of side hustles and layers.
We always have awesome guests here.
We do always have
On
awesome
What's Your
guests.
Story?
Yeah.
The truth, guys. We get closer to the truth.
Whatever
And
that
we
may
just
be.
peel back layers of the onion. And it's just limitless.
Just get in there.
Just limitless.
Yeah.
Our vetting, curating process to get awesome guests on the show
Super intense.
is just insane.
It has to go by the team.
Oh, dude, various levels of the team, various meetings each week to see who we're going to get.
That's right. So this week, guys, we're bringing you Alexis DiDonato. Sometimes she likes to be called Alexis. Sometimes she likes to be called Lex. I'm not really sure which one. We're going to let her tell us. And she is a musical theater actress. And wait for it, all you artists out there. She's putting her dream aside to get a real job.
Well,
I can't.
no. They all say that. But the truth is, it's just another means to get to there. The dream is still there.
Let's find out. Let's bring her in. Alexis,
Who knows?
come in.
What's your story? What's your story?
Hi guys.
Okay, do you want us to call you Alexis or Lex?
I mean,
And get real close to
okay.
Pumpkinhead. You
Okay.
can bring the mic near to you if you want. Brad likes to take his out of the holster.
I'll do
Yeah.
this. I feel more Howard Stern-y.
Yeah, you're more Howard Stern.
You know what? I do feel like Alexis is very formal.
So do I.
But that's like what's on my resume. But nobody ends up calling me Alexis, so I guess just call me Lex. Yeah.
Okay, Lex.
Lex.
Yeah.
Either way, you have an insanely cool name.
Oh, thank you.
Like the full, I'd just be like Alexis. Well, how do you say your last name?
DiDonato.
DiDonato. Damn.
DiDonato, right?
Alexis DiDonato, starring Alexis DiDonato. Like, how is that
Yeah.
not like
everywhere?
like you don't have to do anything else?
Oh,
Your name,
Yeah,
Alexis
exactly.
DiDonato.
people actually get really scared of it. Like when they're calling me into the room or something, they're like, Donato,
Right.
I don't know. How do you say it? I'm like, oh my gosh,
like,
just sound it out. It's not that
Donato.
hard.
It's always like a thing. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I think they see a lot of vowels together, and that just is spooky.
Yeah, that is kind of spooky.
So you're obviously Italian.
Yeah. I'm
100%?
No, I'm half Irish, half Italian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And you're from Philly, huh?
I am.
She's from Philly, yeah.
I grew up like kind of right outside Philly, but like it's like you said earlier about the Stone's Throw. It's like Upper Darby, so
Okay.
it's where Tina Fey's from actually,
Oh,
which is cool.
did not know that.
But yeah, like so the line to cross over to Philly is kind of this train station called 69th Street, and I was like right there. Like we'd always used to play like right there. My parents would be like, "Don't cross the line," and we'd be like, "Ugh."
We're like, put our toes over the
Yeah.
line.
Have you run up the stairs like Rocky?
"Oh yeah,
You have
yeah.
to.
Oh god, yeah, it's so fun."
But then you can't do it when anyone's looking at you. Because you're just like, I'm that guy right now. I'm doing that. Like,
Oh.
you have to do it like at 5 a.m. when Rocky did it, so no one can see you doing it.
Nah, Philadelphians, you know,
Just
we
everyone's
don't,
doing it.
Yeah, like they don't really have any shame about
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
They're like running up with like a steak and cheese fucking.
Oh my god, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, like a
They,
birch beer.
do they call him a bomb or like a hero or a sub or?
No, we say hoagie, or we'll say hoagie. I think
sounded
you,
like you're
The
from
names-
Pennsylvania when you said that.
yeah, because there's Wawa.
There's no good names for like any of these things. Like in I'm
Hero
from Boston,
or-
so it's like up there. It's like a sub.
A sub.
It's like, are we doing subs tonight?
like a
Are we
meat?
getting subs?
But
But
we
it's like,
wouldn't-
but it's honestly, it's so friggin' good though. You know what I'm saying? It's like you keep doing subs. I mean, I'm just thinking about it right now, like, God damn,
like
it's
a
so
meatball
good.
sub.
Oh my god,
my
dude!
gosh,
Are you
yeah.
kidding me?
It's amazing.
Well, when I have to go to the
Why
East
can't we
Coast,
eat those daily?
Because we're in
you
LA.
can. You could if you want.
Because
You're
if I
still-
ate a meatball sub every single day for the next week,
What
I
happened
swear
to
to
you?
God, I'd be 30 pounds heavier. if I had to ever play a role and like they said, dude, you need to gain weight, I'd be like, no problem. Literally, like it would be the easiest thing in the world to do, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just so. I mean, dude, I miss meatball subs. Like,
Well, I'm gonna bring back
Oh
a
my
bunch of
God.
Hartley's chips. Hartley's potato chips is like a Central Pennsylvania brand, Hartley's. And I'm just gonna bring, and I have to go this summer, and I'm gonna bring sour cream and onion and barbecue back, like a duffel bag. I'm bringing
Dude,
just
sour
for
cream,
those.
dude, sour cream chips. Sour, I mean, they're just so good, dude.
So good.
We grew up with cheese doodles.
They were literally called cheese doodles.
Cheese doodles. It's so like the brand Hers. I'm sure HERRS. That was more. You had Hartley's up where you were from, but in Philly it was all about Hers.
Okay.
And
Not Hertz.
no Hers.
Hers. Okay.
HERRS.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
And they had. I think there was like a bear or something on the front of the bag. But anyway, they're cheese doodles, which are doodles are more like puffed.
Okay.
And now like Cheetos makes like cheese curls, but they were kind of like that, and they were so amazing. Oh my god!
That's what I love about this country, though. When, there's not too many things I'm loving about this country, but I mean,
yeah, I can concur.
well, there are things I do love about this country. Dun, 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 dun.
I was like, God,
Just not right now.
It's like this strange
Speaking of
pivot.
Cheetos,
Strange pivot.
When a
No.
Cheeto is running
No,
the country?
It's just the food. You know what
Did
I'm
you
saying?
say
Like,
Al Pacino?
I said when a Cheeto is running the
when a
country,
Cheeto-
a cheese doodle is running the country.
imagine if Al Pacino
I
was.
was like, Al Pacino is running the country. I've
That'd
never
be
We'd
like-
be a lot better off if he was.
That'd be so amazing, right?
Right.
You could just hear him being like, "God, you got nuclear bombs. That's why."
That'd be good.
Right?
Yes.
I love it that, like, whatever that movie was, he was like, "'Cause she's got a great ass."
Is it Scent of a Woman?
Oh yeah.
Is that what it was?
Scent of a Woman. That's a great film.
Dude, it's such a great line. The way
Yeah.
he says it. Getting back to the food, though, it's like the beautiful thing about this country is like you go to certain places, you're like, "Oh, dude, you got to get this here. You got to get that. You got to get this type of food." And it's super fun when you're on the road.
It is super fun.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful because
Yeah.
it's just like you're thinking about the food and
Right.
you can totally
Yeah.
go off the rails a little bit.
Right. So
But
speaking of on the
honestly,
road,
I've actually never been to Philly.
What?
It's the great weirdest
you
thing.
got to
I
put
don't
it on
know
your
Oh
list.
man, it's
how
a,
I'm
it's a
so
really cool
I've been so close, but I've never quite. Have I ever been there? I'm trying
Yet
to think
so
if I've ever been
far.
there.
Maybe in
I think we're going to be
passing,
there
or-
this summer on tour.
That's
so,
awesome.
but I don't know. I don't know if it's confirmed yet. But
You guys, where you? Oh, I was gonna say, where are you guys performing if you were gonna be there?
we're looking at a couple different things.
Okay.
But I don't know if we've got anything confirmed for Philadelphia. But I just want to go there and eat a steak and
Steaks
cheese.
and- yeah, you
right?
do.
Steak
You
and
need
cheese.
to.
You
Cheesesteak,
gotta-
yeah.
Cheesesteak.
Yeah.
You got to
Oh
go
my
to.
God.
Pat.
I
I mean,
just-
everybody loves Pat's
I just salivated a little bit. You just said the cheesesteak.
cheesesteak.
Yeah, so
Um,
good. So speaking
so-
of road, I feel like we gotta like select. You went
Yeah.
to Syracuse,
I
right?
did. Mm-hmm.
And
Whoa, 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 whoa.
what?
You went to Syracuse?
She was Syracuse.
To college?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So did I.
What? Are you serious?
Dude,
Shut the front door.
What?
how did... Dude,
How did we not know
first
this?
of all, I just want to apologize to my listeners for not doing enough research.
No, actually, it's awesome.
I'm like, dude, wait a second here. You went to Syracuse University.
Yes.
So did I. When did you graduate?
I got 07.
Oh boy, now I feel old.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Were
No, I
you-
graduated in '96.
What was your?
No. Yeah, '96.
What was your major?
Drinking. Drinking and my minor in drugging. No.
So you were a management major?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? At first I was liberal arts.
Okay.
And then I was like, let me get into the School of Business. And I was like in this gnarly accounting class. I was like,
This
is
sucks.
a nightmare. Total disaster. And I was like, then I ended up getting into like health and exercise science. Like,
Cool.
it's kind of like
You
liberal
did?
arts. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because like when I went to college on a scholarship to run track.
Oh my god, Brad. Okay, I didn't know that about you. Annie told me he got drafted by the fucking NHL, but his parents wouldn't let him go.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that nuts?
Well, yeah. I mean,
You should
I
have
had,
been
I
like,
had,
you should have done the song.
yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean, I got letters to the farm team for like the Bruins and the Whalers and the Canadians, and I was like a junior in high school. Like my high school hockey coach like really believed in me and was like kind of shopping me around a little bit, and so I had some interest, but it would entail me going to like living in
And
Canada,
I
and getting
think
my
you
ass
should
kicked,
have.
and I was like kind of a scrawny. I wasn't a bigger dude, you know. So
So it
my
didn't
parents
happen.
were probably right, but they were like, "You're going to college." So I ended up going to Syracuse because hockey was like my big sport growing up. But track I did well too. I ran the 110 meter high hurdles,
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
and like I was like, whatever. I did pretty well in it, and then I got like a scholarship to Syracuse,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh, Syracuse is Big East Division I. I got to go there. So, but quickly into like first semester freshman year, I was like all about the track and shit. One day I was just like walking around, I was just like crazy shin splints, and like everybody was like having a ball, going to the bars and shit. And I was like, fuck this. It just hit me. I was just like, I'm done.
Interesting.
I was like, so sports was my life, you know? And then I just hit this wall with it, you know? So next thing you know, I was like fucking living at the bars and just like pledging a fraternity and, you know, the debauchery that ensued that we all pursue with fervor in college. But so you went to Syracuse. It's so amazing.
I know.
That's
I loved
so
it
crazy.
there. It was really cold.
Isn't it fun?
It was so fun. I mean, I'm not gonna
it's
lie.
cold,
I'm
but you don't
boring.
even you don't
No,
care.
you don't care. I mean, I was a musical theater major, so
Oh, yeah?
I was like
Newhouse?
had to. No, it's visual
Or
performing arts.
visual performing-
Yeah,
that's,
because Newhouse is communications.
That building, the music building, is like the
Oh,
most
it's-
beautiful buildings ever.
It's like what? It's like Hogwarts. It looks like Hogwarts,
Totally.
doesn't it?
It's like the
Kinda?
craziest building of all time. Do you know the building?
Yeah, I was when I was there. Yeah, I saw it.
Really? Oh my god. Do you know the building? Like everyone should know this.
I've
Everyone
never
should
been
know.
to Syracuse, man.
Everyone should know
It's
the
really
music
cool.
building at Syracuse University.
We had a lot of classes in there, piano and like, all our
That's
sight
amazing.
singing. music
So you're
theory
like
classes.
you're like a trained musician. Like
No, I'm not a
of a
musician.
thing?
I mean, I'm a
singer?
I am a singer. Yeah, I can read music. It's funny. Like, I wish I could play piano better.
Hmm.
You know, can plunk out my part. I
Yeah.
obviously can read music, but I can't like sit and play. You know, my left hand and my right hand at the same time. Just not.
But you did a bunch of shows, right?
Yeah. So I'm primarily like dancer. That was always like my strongest suit was being a dancer. And I did a ton of shows.
You even did an off-Broadway show, right?
did.
Right out of college or right at the end of college,
At
was
that-
it?
No, it was it was after I graduated. I
Okay.
guess. So, because I moved, me and my girlfriends, like we all moved straight to New York, like the day after graduation.
Of course.
And it's funny, actually, I wasn't a big,
Where? Oh wait. So yeah, you went right to the city,
yeah,
dude. That's what I did.
yeah. Where'd you
It's so
move to?
crazy.
Where'd you-
I didn't move back to Boston because I knew if I moved back to Boston, like,
You'd never get
Me
out.
too.
my dad would be like, day 2, he'd be like, "What are you doing? Get a job at fucking."
It's hardware.
Yeah, if I like, it'd be like, "Welcome back, good to see you, son." You know, like
Right,
for a
right.
day.
Did your
Then
dad own a hardware store?
No,
Is that
I
why?
just like
No.
made up
Oh,
what
you
a
just
small
made-
town.
No,
like I
it-
just made up some town.
It would
business.
straight up be like Dunkin' Donuts, 7:50 that type of shit. You know,
Stunk.
but I just
But
knew
they have one in Santa Monica. Oh, they have it in
no, they
Hollywood
haven't.
now. They have
Yeah.
them everywhere now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Dunkin'
we've been-
Donuts, dude. I'm looking forward to
Dunkin'
getting
Donuts is
little,
good.
little D&D,
Favorite.
double D.
But we had Brugger's Bagels up in
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Oh shit,
Gosh.
Guys.
So
dude!
I
When they put together little locks,
oh
fucking.
God, Lox is my favorite. I'm such a fat kid.
So wait, we gotta talk about Syracuse for a
Okay,
second.
yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta talk
no,
about
that's
Syracuse for a
okay.
second. Okay, so like I majored in like the bars. You know what I'm saying? Like the bars
Marshall
was
Street,
like
the varsity.
Marshall Street. The bar. You know, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like it was just such a scene. Like we'd go to Harry's a lot. Did
Oh
you
my
go to
God,
Harry's?
Harry. Yeah, I dated a bartender at Harry's.
Of course you did.
I was gonna say, of course you did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He was in a communications major though. He like
It didn't.
whatever.
It wasn't your jam. Didn't
No,
jam.
it was.
Is that
but I-
dude? What's his name? John Shaheen. Do you know John Shaheen?
No.
He's the guy that owns Harry's. I mean,
Oh no, I didn't.
he used
know
to. And this
him.
guy Michael McCarter, black dude,
Yeah, I don't
like
recognize.
big football player type guy.
No, but we would sneak into the
I think
place
managed
across
it.
the street a lot. It was called Charlie's or something.
Oh, Chuck's.
Oh, Chuck's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
downstairs.
yeah. Because
I went there a couple times.
and like
but-
it got busted once, and we like climbed up through like the bed. It's like kind of underground, and
Oh
we
my
like
God.
climbed up through like the bed. Oh God, it was bad. Wait,
Dude.
because I had like a fake ID for some
course.
reason, but I think it was just I borrowed the girl like.
Yeah,
Two
like-
people behind or something.
Right,
She
right.
passed it back. I grabbed it. They looked at it. Like
They're like,
thought that
whatever.
they
fuck
I mean,
it,
when
yeah.
you go to college, like day 1 is like, some
Yeah.
sort of like meeting in your dorm floor. Day 2 is
Oh,
like
yeah.
getting the fake ID because somebody at the door on the floor is the guy who you go
Right.
to. That like he's like the guy that like gets laid and gets chicks like early. You know what I'm saying? Like kicks it off. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
guy's making fake
yeah.
IDs.
They
but,
made
like-
all of us wear. I remember. 'Cause,
Who's
like,
they?
So like the older theater kids.
Oh, okay.
So there was this big party called Marathon, and we had like we had our bigs. We were littles. We were assigned to like a house. So it was like the fraternity of the theater department.
Okay.
And
Did not know that
they made
existed.
you do like it was kind of like hazing, but like not as bad as, you know,
Right.
everything that they do now. And I honestly was not a drinker. Like I was very goody
Really?
two shoes. Yeah, I had like super short hair, like very like I'd never drank before. And anyway, they made us wear all white.
Okay.
And then like the object of the game was to like mess us up like by the end of the night. Yeah.
Wow.
And the house was called Marathon. And yeah, so like everybody was like,
Was this like a Greek thing?
no, but it was like the version of, you know,
hazing for theater
hazing
kids.
for theater
For theater,
kids.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So it was like that.
I mean, I'll never forget this. I was like, I was just like you. Like, I never drank. I never did drugs. And all through high school, I was like this crazy, like straight edge athlete type guy. And the next thing you know, I'm in Syracuse and they're like passing around this joint. And I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I just remember being like, and I said no. I
You
said
did.
no.
You
Oh yeah, when the joint came to me, I was just like, no, I'm not ready yet. You know, cut to a year later, I'm like pulling fucking
Right, a
8-foot
water bong out of your fucking back
Yeah,
pocket.
like I'm walking in the fraternity door and there's like a 17-foot bong
Yeah. And you're like,
upon
oh,
walking in from class.
and you're
Yeah.
like, let me hit that.
But you
Yeah.
had the short hair and you kind of were the same thing where it was like,
yeah.
it was almost like, it was like the age of innocence, the
It was.
corruption.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how did the corruption happen for you? Like,
Well,
was it slow and organic or was it, or was it like lightning fast overnight?
no, it was more, I think it was more like, yeah, I think it was, see, it's tricky because I feel like there were, you know, phases of
Right.
it. Like I was super focused, you know, I had ballet every morning at 8:30. Like I had to be
Shit.
at like the
Yeah.
ballet bar ready. And yeah, I think I was like I think my freshman year I was super focused because we had evaluations because the way it's run like a conservatory, so they pretty much take half of you and then they are like, we don't think that you're right, like we don't think that you're going to really be anything,
Right.
so then they pretty much split your class in half and then you're not with the same people anymore,
Right.
Also, yeah, so I think I had a boyfriend my sophomore year and he was a senior and he
I totally see you as
corrupted
like
me.
the type of girl that's like had the boyfriend long term.
Oh
right?
God, yeah. I've always had like boyfriends, like
Right?
one after the other after the other. That's
Same
probably why
here.
I'm so
Same here.
fucked up now. But
It's
yeah,
like, yeah, you're single for like a minute,
Yeah.
and then the minute you're single, you're like, I'm so psyched I'm single. I'm gonna be single forever. Like 3 weeks later, you're like in this intense fucking. You know? Right? It's like, why? Why did I do that to myself?
I know.
Isn't that so funny though? It's like, but that's what you do. Like you come from these small towns or whatever. It's just like.
Well, I always had a
But
boyfriend
now I
all
feel
through
like
high
it's
school
like,
too.
yeah, oh yeah.
You know?
So did I. I had a girlfriend right through, all through high school, and then try to keep it together in college and shit.
Yeah,
You look back,
well-
it's just like so funny to me. Like you tried to keep it, you tried to keep it together, but
Yeah.
it didn't make it
No.
through freshman year.
Oh my God,
doesn't make it.
I have not thought about that
Right?
in so long because
But think about
I
that.
did
But it was a
that.
huge. But back then,
Yeah.
put yourself back into that place. It was such a big deal to you. Remember?
yeah, like
And
I
you-
thought I was gonna like get
And then
married.
you met the guy at Syracuse that you
Exact-
kind of started
who
liking,
was
but then
the
you went
biggest
home for
competitor.
like Thanksgiving and you kind of hooked up still.
I totally
and
did.
right? You
Yeah,
did it.
with
you
my
did it.
ex or
Yeah,
something.
and you
Yeah.
and you promised the guy that you just totally like met in college that you wouldn't do it.
Right.
And then like you didn't want to tell him, and then he found out. He's like, "What the fuck?" You know?
So true.
Right?
I did not have those experiences.
Oh my
It's
god.
so true.
Dude,
yeah, but it's
it
the
happened.
Thanksgiving. I don't know what it was like for you guys, but when we would go home for Thanksgiving, there was always like the high school place that you would meet up with everybody the night before Thanksgiving.
Right.
And then you'd like see everybody. And like I was a theater kid, so we would all go see the show, the Friday show after Thanksgiving to like not judge the show or anything, but we were like, oh, we were here supporting and also
Yeah.
like to judge.
Judging.
I love how you say you were a theater kid. That just sounds cool.
Like the theater kids, yeah.
It sounds like a New York City,
Like
Yeah.
cool kid.
like
theater
theater
kid.
cat, theater kid, yeah.
I
But
was so not a theater kid.
I was a theater
I was
kid.
the furthest. Theater, the word theater just terrified me.
I was
you know
a
what I'm saying?
thespian in high school, all that good stuff.
I love that word. It's so
I know,
funny.
it is
It always made me
hilarious.
chuckle. But yeah, it was weird because my theater department in high school, it wasn't like we were like that stereotypical like dorky or anything like that because some of us were on student council You know, so we weren't the popular kids, but we were always the kids that were up on stage speaking, or
Right.
we were
Were you
in the
were
choir.
you one of the cool kids?
I wasn't cool, but I wasn't not like I was cool with all the cool kids because all the cool kids were the jocks.
Right.
You know,
Always,
like they,
right?
yeah, they
It's high
always,
school, right?
yeah, like the guy, you know, the football
But, like,
players,
the-
cheerleaders.
What school, what high school do you go to where the cool kids are the rocker misfit kids? Because later
like a
on,
A performing arts
you
high
look
school.
back and you say those are the cool kids.
It's a
but when you
performing
go
arts
to
high school,
every,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
is it
Well,
the
they
performing
were-
arts? Because it seems like in
Absolutely.
regular high schools and stuff, it's
Yeah.
like all about the jock.
Right.
It's all about the jocks.
You know?
Yeah,
Right.
and like well, it's tricky because like
It's like, is it still that way, or did it change?
Yes.
I think it's still kind
think
of
it's still
like
that
that.
way.
Although
Maybe like social media changed
also
it.
I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Did you?
So yeah.
Wow.
So everything was very stereotypical like at my school. And but I was really good friends with like all the popular kids,
Mm.
you know, and I dated I always dated actually I feel like I
Did you
always
go
dated
for the
people older
jock?
than
Did you
me.
go for the jock?
No, I dated a couple jocks, but mainly it was like the carpenter, like the stage crew guys. Like I always thought that was like I loved long
you're
hair.
that girl.
Oh yeah, I was like I always went for like the sexy kind of like a little bit bad boy, but also was
Who
like
could wield a hammer?
yeah. Like my freshman year boyfriend.
Who could rock a tool belt
That's right.
Oh my god, yes, and,
and
it was like the
fi- and
fly
fix
crew.
shit?
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'm so not
they
that
had-
guy, though.
Or like would make me something. Like I would love it when like like my one boyfriend who's like the love of my life.
Yeah.
He actually his last name is the same name as my school. That's like how Irish
Who,
he is.
who meanwhile is married somewhere with like 2 kids now. And shit.
Soon. It's
Right?
probably gonna happen any day, and he's gonna call me.
You still talk to him?
Yeah, all the time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What?
We've known each other.
This is getting so weird.
His mom was my 7th grade teacher. She hates me though
God.
because
Is
my
he back in Philly?
yeah. He owns his own construction company.
He's just
but-
like a good dude
He's a-
back there,
yeah.
totally unaffected.
Yeah.
But you're the love of his life that slipped away that had to
Do
go
you know
to
what
Hollywood.
you know what his downfall is?
He's a smoker.
Cigarettes?
Yeah.
Or weed or
Oh no,
both?
not weed. No.
No?
He doesn't do any drugs at all. And he very, very clean cut, but he is a heavy smoker. Like Marlboro Reds, like
Rips butts.
just
Like how many packs a day? Like a pack a day? Less than a pack a day?
I'm sure it's like more.
God, I wish I could smoke
Damn, that
cigarettes.
just fucks with your everything.
But
your
he's so
skin,
it's so
your
sad because he's
teeth.
so good looking and he's in amazing shape, but like it's all genetic. You know what I mean?
He's
Like
just
it's
shredded.
yeah. But he's thin. Like he's very lean. He's not like
Yeah.
a big dude. Yeah. But he comes from a family of 5, blah, all that. But anyway, he was the fly chief. Like he was on fly crew. So the guys
Whoa.
up in the fly that would drop the
Oh.
sets. And we would like go up in the fly, freshman
geez.
year and like
Oh, boy.
and then like I've just always been into like belaying
Right.
and stuff like that. But anyway.
Wow.
But I feel like we got to get into like
Yeah.
the reason
Oh,
we
the
brought
reason
you
why
on.
we're here. Anyway.
Well, so yeah. I mean, so I'm totally fascinated by your story.
But we got to talk about her
what?
leaving of musical theater
No, totally. I mean, you were at musical theater in Syracuse,
Right.
And then
off Broadway.
I did you know
so
what?
wait,
I
so
got
wait. You. Where are we now in the story? So I mean, you left Syracuse and went right to New York City,
right.
Yeah.
right?
I started.
And you just went right for it. Like, did you have a place lined up to move into?
I
in New
did.
York?
Yeah,
You
we
did.
went to the city to. Actually, I shouldn't take credit for that because my best friend Kate and like my other really good friend Alicia, they went to me and my friend Casey. We were in the spring musical, so we couldn't go on the weekends to go look at places. So they would go look at places, and like we'd be on the phone with them while they were looking for places
Right.
around the city. And then they found a place on 47th between 8th and 9th, and then we were like,
You gotta go to
it-
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, it was great.
That's
And
where I went
we-
too. I was like 58th and 8th.
Oh my gosh, that's
It was.
right
It
off
was.
the block.
It was like. It was called the Hudson. Like it was the Henry.
Oh, it's right
Hudson,
near the Hudson Hotel.
something. It
That's
was.
right,
It was
yeah.
more of like a. Now it's the Hudson Hotel.
Okay.
Like a cool
I just
hotel,
remember
whatever.
green-
But it
green
was just like,
lighting.
whatever. It's a whole long story. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, but Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, Hell's Kitchen.
because it was really convenient to all the auditions. And
It was
stuff.
cheaper.
It was cheaper. I think, God, you know what though? Looking back now, our rent. So I had lived in like a little room
Like a
where-
little room.
Well, my only thing that could fit in there was my bed and a dresser.
Right.
And I could touch both walls
Yeah.
with my arms just stretched out.
Oh, of course.
So my bed
New York
fit
City, man.
perfectly between the two walls. Like I couldn't.
It was
get
like
on
a
my
single bed.
Wait,
Yeah, I had
was
to
it
like.
a Murphy bed?
No.
The ones that come out of the wall?
No, but I wish I would have had so much more space.
That would've been-
No, but
That's what I had in
wanted a
Brooklyn.
trampoline so I could just like launch myself into the bed because
Yeah.
there's no side, so I'd have to like crawl. Yeah. Anyway,
It's like New York City living. You open your
Right.
door, it's
Yeah.
just a bed.
Yeah,
Right.
Like
That's
it's
all
the
it is.
toilet. Yeah.
$1,400.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like your place
It
is
was-
just one big mattress. It's like
Pretty
yeah,
much.
I mean, yes, and you like have your TV set up in a corner of your mattress.
Right,
It's just
right.
nothing but a mattress.
Yep.
Wait, Chrissy, did you ever do New York City?
No, I didn't. I came straight to an acting conservatory out of high school here in Hollywood.
You guys,
Straight to the acting
theaters and
conservatory.
conservatories.
Yep. That's why, like, when I left
I
high
had-
school,
I had
I was like,
zeros.
peace out,
I had-
motherfucker. I ain't looking back. I ain't coming back.
Uh,
And I
loved high
did
school.
not turn around.
so you went to New York. I went to New York too.
I love.
It's sort of like Syracuse. I remember flipping a quarter. It was like heads New York, tails LA. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And I-
literally how you made your choice?
yeah.
Okay.
I swear to God.
All right.
And it was New York, but it was closer, it was easier. It was New York, so it's like your family, you're from the East Coast,
Right.
all the way to California. It's like maybe a little too extreme, but
Yeah.
you did it. You went to New York, you found your way.
Yep.
Did you
I was-
you lived on your own? Did you have roommates?
I did. It was kind of like a mixed bag. I when I would book shows like at regional theaters or a tour, I would sublet my apartment, or I would break the lease, which I hated doing. But
What kind of shows are you in?
one of my first shows actually was I was on this show called Shira and Lowly Diddy Doodle Works.
That
and
is
I
a
played one of the
crazy-ass
characters.
name.
I know,
Dude.
and it filmed actually out in Amityville.
With a name like that, you'd think that,
It was in Amityville, and I just remember getting on like the LIRR and like going into Long
my God.
Island and being like, "Where the freaking heck am I going?"
Did you spend a lot of time on Long Island?
No, it was just
Because like
when we
I
were
had a lot of
shooting.
friends who were from Long Island.
Now I
Because
have
Syracuse
a lot of
is
friends.
like,
full of people from.
I
Long
mean,
Island.
it's Long Island's
Yep.
like representing.
A lot of my friends lived actually like in Westchester,
Oh yeah.
like
course,
Teaneck, New
yeah.
Jersey, but or in
Jersey,
or
Westchester,
like in
yeah.
Hoboken or like Weehawken, like they all lived kind of like across the Hudson, and so I was doing that. I was dancing on that show because it was a full body costume with like an animatronic head, and so I was doing that for a while, and that was really cool. But then
When I hear
booked-
dancing now, I just think stripping. Right away. Why is it? It's just when you say dancing, you're ballet.
yeah, well, it was.
Well, theater,
It's like-
singing, dancing.
Yeah, like Broadway.
It's like more Broadway, like like I wouldn't even
So,
call
like-
it Broadway because
so, like,
that's like when you kick your face, but
Sans pole.
yes,
Sans pole. Exactly, sans
yes.
pole, yeah.
But
Sans
that
pole.
was one of my survival jobs. Actually, is I started
you dabble?
teaching. No, I started teaching.
Not stripping.
I was gonna be like, dude, you are a fucking animal. I love
I've been
it.
like, I've never known you were a stripper, and
No,
you were just
I do have
discouraging me from selling my body.
From
No,
Catholic school to stripper.
I was teaching. I started. Actually, it started out here, S Factor, and and I started training to be a teacher
Not
to
a
teach
stripper.
to teach pole dancing for like
To
women
teach
empowerment.
pole dancing.
Yes, and I got like a free pole because you work. You start to do.
Have you guys seen that place on Sunset Boulevard? It's like there's just a pole in the window, and it's like you can. They
Equinox-
teach you how to teach. Pole dancing.
Equinox used to have
No.
pole dancing classes, and it was so fucking popular. Except every single man and dad in there would stand outside the window and watch the pole dancing classes, and all the like mommies who weren't taking it threw a hissy fit and they nixed it.
Oh my god!
But
the
that was probably
mommies.
like 8 years ago. I think if they brought it back now, it'd be fine.
The mommies with the kids
And not happy with their hubbies looking at all the women taking pole dancing classes.
drilling.
Ugh.
So you toured. You did the.
So
thing.
I toured. Yeah, I worked.
Now,
at,
how did
like,
that
the
work with you had your apartment in New York City? If you had to tour, did you
I would
sublet it?
Yeah,
and you,
like-
you had that arrangement where you could say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to be touring.
Yep.
Can I sublet this out?" And they were cool with it.
Yeah,
It's always good.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is with roommates and stuff. I mean, there was some drama, all that. Like
course.
I did live by myself in Chelsea I lived by myself in Hell's Kitchen as well. I lived on 10th.
You come
above-
back. You like, you guys. Oh my god, I'm going on tour. We just and they're like, okay.
they're
So
like,
how,
They're like, well, what are we gonna do about your room?
they're like,
Yeah.
that's so great, but what are we going to do about the money?
yeah,
Right.
And you're like,
exactly.
oh my god, I thought you were fucking supportive of me.
Right.
But sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I would just throw money at the problem and like not get anybody in there because I didn't feel like dealing with like some crazy person or whatever.
Right.
I do feel really lucky that like I have worked a lot. You know, I've been able to follow my dream and you know do all that. I mean, I still have like lots of different goals that like I haven't reached yet, but I it's kind of what you were saying earlier. You know, I'm definitely somebody, you know, I'm from Philly for fuck's sake. Like I'm a hustler, you know, and I just feel like I feel like I'm not moving anywhere because I don't have the energy or like the real finances to do what I want. And which is, you know, be an actress and just like really go for it because there's so many.
So like theater is now not the main focal point. Like you would like to just be an actress.
I mean, film and television.
I mean, film and
Like
TV.
film and TV.
Yeah, I think so because it's at a certain point in musical theater for me anyway.
You kind of hit the ceiling.
I can't really play the young roles anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm in my early 30s, but like all the people that I'm with dancing
you're so
with.
old.
Yeah.
We know in this city.
For musical theater though, like if you're in the ensemble, like it's all 20-year-olds, like all 20-year-olds. And I just
It's like Black Swan.
and it's kind of like I do it's like
Right?
it's kind of like
Natalie
I've been
Portman
there. Yeah.
is like next to you, biting her nails off,
Yeah.
and you're like,
I love that movie.
you're like, I'm not going to get this role. But no, I mean, it's gnarly though. I mean, so you can get up on your toes and like do that whole thing.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
used to. Yeah, I haven't done Point in like probably like 4 or 5 years now.
Point, it's called.
Yeah. But I still have my Point shoes.
I mean,
cool.
you know, that seems like such a cool, it's like a sort of elite New York City thing or something like that. But it's like, how do you make money with
It's really hard.
doing that? I mean, you go on these tours. I mean, I'm sure it's like
That's how you make the money.
like
Is
but
the
it's like a
tour.
per diem type thing, right? Like a,
Well, I mean,
a weekly rate or a day rate or.
it's a weekly, but
Yeah.
it's but you do get per diem, and like the cool thing about per diem is you pocket that. Like you do not spend your per diem. You eat the catering, you suck it up. Like
Really?
you pocket. Like
It's
I
all-
never
yeah.
spent a paycheck. Like my
The
paycheck.
per diem is part of the paycheck. You know what I'm saying, right? You
Yeah,
just-
kind of. Yeah. I mean, which is nice because sometimes we would get per diem in cash, so like
Yeah.
you would never have to touch your bank account. You know, you could just live off of the per diem, which was
Right.
nice.
Right.
But like that's the thing. Like when you book a tour, you know, you're out. Say you're out on the road for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can set yourself up to get you to your next gig.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is good. But but it's a lot of physical, and you know from touring, but it's a lot of like physical taxation on your body. You
Yeah,
know,
you're constantly on a bus, new city.
Exactly. Like you're changing, you know, your diet is terrible, you know. So yeah, anyway, I think I'm just really wanting to start like trying to figure out how to work smarter, not harder.
So what is your plan then right now?
I mean, my
like, you know,
plan-
like, I mean, well, are you auditioning for acting work?
I still am. I mean, I had a meeting with my agent like a few weeks ago to tell him like I needed to take a break. And I was like bawling my eyes out in his office,
Yeah.
and he was like, "You really don't want to do this. Like, I don't think you should do this." And he's like,
Right.
You're like,
he's
honey,
it's-
no one takes a break in this town.
Yeah.
You take a
And-
break, you die.
and I agree with that 100%. But at the same
So
time,
ridiculous.
I can't keep working these. I shouldn't say the word I can't, but I don't want to keep working like little job here, driving over here.
Well,
over
let me
here,
ask you,
know
was he
what I
getting
mean?
you out on stuff?
Not the things that like I really want.
It's like, honestly,
and-
I've got to take a break. I'm so exhausted from all these auditions. I mean, that would be like that's like a great scenario,
yeah, I
right?
wish.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I'm exhausted from the fact that I'm not doing anything.
Well, I think I'm exhausted
You know?
from the fact that like I'm constantly pulled in like 10 billion different directions because I'm so worried I'm not going to pay my bills. And I'm
that
at a
wor-
point in my
God.
20s, like I didn't care.
So
I was like,
annoying.
whatever, I can like
I'll figure it out.
I
Fuck
can
it.
figure it out, you know. But now that I'm like getting older, I'm like, wait a second. It's exactly what you said.
Well,
I
now
need
you're
a
entering that
plan.
phase where you can't really lean on your family.
No,
because you've kind of done that.
and I don't want to do that either.
Well, no,
Right.
it gets to a
You know
point
what
where
I mean?
you don't want to ask your mom, "Can you pay my cell phone bill?"
Yeah. I mean, I would never ask my mom that, but
Even though she's
I'd ask
paid,
my dad.
even though she's paid, or your mom or your dad.
yeah. I'd
Even
be
though
like,
they've paid,
"Dad."
even though at this point they've contributed millions
Yes.
to your life.
I mean, I guess. Yes.
It's like, Mom, Dad, I'm 40. It's like,
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
it's like I know I know I've taken every penny from you,
I know.
and you're like living in a cardboard box.
Oh,
But
that's terrible.
but you know what though?
I've thought about it.
But I want to act.
Yeah.
Pay me more. I know at some point you hit this crossroads where
Yeah.
you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's not even that even if you could get the money from your dad, it gets to a place where you're like, you know what? I got to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
It's
I got to
true.
figure out a way to hustle and to make some dough and to pull this thing off.
Yeah.
And the thing is though, what jobs are out there
I
to
know.
do?
Wasn't there
And
one-
it's like that's the big thing is everyone's trying to figure out in this town or anywhere that you're trying to do something creative. It's like, look, dude, what the fuck can I do that I'm not gonna be miserable
Yeah.
with?
Right.
That I can make decent money.
Right.
Everyone's trying to figure that out.
Exactly.
Is it nannying? Is it waitressing?
Yep.
Is it this? Is it that? What is it?
Right.
You know, and it's what's fascinating about, you know, what's on your radar
Well,
screen for
I
options?
mean, I figured if I'm gonna try to make like really good money and just focus on the making money factor, like it, in a weird way, I kind of can't. I don't want to do anything related to what I love to do. In a weird way,
I
like
absolutely
don't
agree.
like I don't want to teach.
Because it's depressing.
It's
It is.
depressing because
It is.
I'm the whole time I'm just like, God, I just wish I was doing it.
But you know what though? But people do, like, as long as I'm doing something near what I like, my
No.
art,
Yeah, see, I'm not
That's
like
the
that.
catch-22.
I'm not like
I
that
need to
either.
like compartmentalize. Like I am focused.
Well,
like so,
like,
I've been applying for like
people
a
be
lot
like,
of-
why don't you just do PA work? But
Oh,
then you're like,
Oh, that
God.
would kill
That would
but
me.
then
kill
you're
my
like,
spirit.
well, then I'm super depressed because I'm watching everyone else do what I want to be doing.
Right,
I'm
and
like
then you're
fucking-
only ever looked at like a PA. Like what? The director one day is going to be like, "You're great at getting coffee. Did you ever think about acting?"
Yeah,
Well, that's what people think.
You're just
Yeah,
constantly
but no.
thought of as a fucking PA. They're not
Yeah.
going to think of you as anything
Right.
but a PA.
exactly. It's true. I mean, it is
But you
true.
might just you hear that you read some story like so and so got discovered she was a PA.
All right. Unless you're fucking like 5'8" as a woman and like disgustingly beautiful and a 12 on the 10-point scale, that shit ain't gonna happen, girl.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, the way you got me that coffee, I saw
There's,
the
like,
innate
something in your
talent in your
eyes.
skill
The
set.
sense of urgency, your point of view.
Yeah, like,
You
know,
really interpreted that coffee amazingly.
yeah.
No. So you're putting your game plan right now is to put aside the dream.
Yeah.
And what kind of a real job are you looking at? Because as an artist, what will fulfill your heart?
What's the
Well-
difference between a job and a real job? Like, what's a real? I mean, a real. are you
Like
talking
serving's not a
full-time?
real job. Serving's like your
well, for
side
some
hustle to
people-
pursue your
Some
passion.
people
I don't know.
it is.
It's a
I've
real
worked-
job to a lot of people.
Well, I know, like for me as an
For
artist,
me
it's
too.
not a real
Ditto,
job.
Ditto.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my father, he's in advertising, so I've been around that world a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But so I've been really applying for like some sort of like marketing position or like assistant to a marketing executive or something around something I can stay creative, something where I can stay creative. So yeah, and it's tough because I don't really have the experience, and everything's online now, and I'm really good at sales. Like I'm really good. I think I'm pretty good with people, reading people, and I can come up with things quickly, but I don't really have like that background in it. So
Right.
you know what I mean? So I kind of I'm that's where I want to go, even though I know it's not really
Right.
in my wheelhouse, but I know I don't want to teach.
Well, let me ask you this: are you okay with showing up in an office from like 9 to 5?
I mean, I think
and
because it's for the
being-
greater
and
good.
really doing a real job. and,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think it
getting
because
like doing that thing.
I'm like
That's the big question.
Like yes and no. I mean, I think I don't really know until I try.
Right.
I mean, my gut reaction to it is like absolutely not. Like I would hate that. But I feel
that's
like
the rub,
that's
because
kind of
you
what
go
it is.
there-
Yeah, which I would have to be like.
And
yeah.
you're in the cubicle wearing the headset with some douchebag.
What?
With some
Cubicle
douchebag.
headset. That sounds
You know,
terrible.
some douchebag saying, why aren't you on the phone? Dial.
Yeah. pretty
What?
much.
That's like
Yeah.
telemarketing
That's sales.
bullshit.
And then you're like looking
sales.
outside and it's like sunny out and it's like, and then you're like, fuck, I gotta get out of this office. And then you run out there and you run, I want to be free. But then you're
Yeah.
like, shit, I'm
I
back to
mean,
being broke.
The reality
Do you
is-
have a time limit? Like, I'm going to try the quote unquote real job thing for X amount of months and then I'm going to say fuck it and go back to what I really love, or what?
I mean, I don't have like a specific time limit. But I just know myself, like, in my heart of hearts, like, I'm an artist. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
you're gonna come back to
like,
it.
it's gonna happen. But I think I
Well,
have
like
to
once you know that about yourself, like once you get bitten by the artist bug, it doesn't leave you.
Nope.
If you're really truly an artist, it's gonna haunt you
Yeah.
to the day
Right.
you die, and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, it's such a challenge though to find it, because this is the tough part of being successful. Is a lot of people, I think, get caught up in just like, you know, I'm just going to do my thing. I'm just going to teach. Then I'm going to teach classes, you know.
Yeah.
But then you're teaching what you love to
Right.
do and you want
Yeah.
to do. But then you're depressed because you're teaching it, and you're
Right.
like, wait, fuck, I want it. Like, you're like, I need to do something totally different. Do you have anything lined up though? Like, do you have a resume that says
I
can
do.
do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah?
definitely.
Because it seems like
yeah.
most of your experience has been like
Yeah, of
theatrical.
course. Yeah. I mean, I've worked like a lot of like temp jobs. You know, when I was in New York, I worked a lot of temp jobs. So I've been able to kind of like beef up my resume. And like, I still have some friends, you know, that I'm connected to in different places that said they would vouch for me, which is nice. But again, like, it's funny because even though I'm submitting for these jobs, like on Indeed, there's this part of me that like hits the send button. And I'm
you're like, I want to take it back.
yes. And I'm just like, I'm not really meaning this, but
I
I
know.
feel like, you know what, if I can just stay focused on, because you know what else I think it
And
is
then your
too for
mom
me?
or your dad's like, honey, we believe in you, but we've gone over this before.
Yeah.
You've got to get a job.
Exactly. And I keep telling my parents, like, you've given up on me, and you know, and they're
No,
like,
of
we
course.
haven't given up on you. It's
The
just we
minute-
don't want to see you unhappy. and
Dude,
it's
I went
true.
through it too with my parents. They were just
Yeah.
like, we love you, Brad. We think you're the, you know, the next freaking Bob Dylan.
Right.
But honestly, you need to get a job. And I'm just like, oh my God.
My
like,
favorite
and then
thing-
you take it personally.
Yeah.
You're like, you don't believe in me? Like, it's like, dude,
Yeah.
at some
It's
point
not
you're like,
that.
dude, it's not that, man.
It's not
just
that.
like,
But it is struggle, and they see. I
Yeah.
think too, like your parents love you so much, like they don't want to see their baby hurting all the time. Like
Right.
me, you know, I'm just being so stressed out that, oh my God, I can't pay my bills, you know, and having to work this job over here, like calling everyone you know that like might be able to give you some extra hours. Like I don't want to live in this anxiety place anymore, and I know that that's part of it. Like the struggle is part of it, but I think the thing is for me that kind of like made a click. I mean, yes, I did fall in love, and like the person that I'm with, you know, kind of made me see some things in a different way than I did before. But
Right now?
yeah.
Okay.
But I also feel like it is affecting my artistic work. I feel like
Sure.
a lot of times when I walk into auditions, as much as I put on a happy face and like as much as I've done like really good work on the material, I come in and there is like an element of sadness coming through the door, and I don't mean for it to, but I do feel like there's a
Desperation,
weight on
too?
my soul.
Does it-
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't think that that's good, because it's kind of like it breeds that. It doesn't. It's not going to
mean,
get me to. So if I
I have a
establish more of a
friend
compliment,
I have a producer friend who's like, you know, done a lot of casting, and he says it all the time, is that they can see it,
Mm-hmm.
they can smell it and see it the minute you walk in the door, the desperation thing,
I
like I
agree.
need it. And then the people that don't give any fucks, who have like a job or something like that,
Right.
they just have a whole other energy, you
Yeah.
know. And it's like, if you're solvent, as my friend said, he goes, you need to be able to make money
Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
because it's power. Do you know what I'm
It is.
saying?
It's
and
foundation
it takes this edge off of
confidence
you,
too.
and it allows you to relax and enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being like do or die. It's not even about the art anymore. It's about that, but it's really about like fucking, you know, paying the bills and
Yeah.
shit. And it's just like, dude, that's like,
I know.
it takes away from the art.
It's the opposite of why we
And the
got
joy,
into this in the
you
first
know?
place.
Right.
Yeah.
So your significant other right now has opened your eyes to what?
Well, he just kind of brought up. He's like, it's amazing, like the girl that you were when you were on tour, and right before you went on tour, when you were in rehearsals, and right when you came back from tour, like you were so happy and glowing, and like
because you
doing-
had a purpose.
Yeah,
like you knew
exactly.
you were
You're
making
doing something you
money,
loved.
and you didn't have to deal with the anxiety of like I gotta
Looking, the
do,
hustle.
because
Yeah.
you had a gig, right? You had a
Exactly.
gig, and then
Yeah.
in between gigs is where it gets tricky.
it is hard,
You know?
because he's like, and now I've just like watched you, just be so down on yourself, because
Right.
especially like the things that I've auditioned for that I've gotten really close to and then
Yeah.
didn't book it. Like
Right.
I used to be so good at just like water for ducks back, like in one year at the other, forget about it, and now that I'm older, it's kind of like I'm getting older, and it's like, damn it, I worked like really friggin' hard on
I
that
just heard
thing.
the Fleetwood Mac song.
Yeah.
Getting older, children get older,
Right?
and I'm getting older too.
Yeah. That song always makes
It's
me
like
cry.
that song. It's like it's the most over. You know, it's like you've heard it so many times.
Right.
You're like, oh, but you know what? You just can't help it.
It's
You
like
just
you
gotta listen to
listen
it.
to it.
You just gotta listen to it for a second because it's like
true.
so fucking
There's
amazing.
a remake of it too, I think. But isn't there a remake by
Well,
Oasis?
Dixie Chicks.
Oh,
Dixie Chicks did
does
a,
it.
did a
Oasis.
version of it.
Doesn't Oasis do it?
I don't
Or
know.
maybe it's.
And
I'm sorry.
I'm
It's
getting
Smashing
older.
Pumpkins. No, that was good.
Like-
That was good. No, Smashing Pumpkins does.
Oh
a
my
remake
God.
Of it, I think.
Oh,
they
I think
do?
Smashing
Yeah.
Pumpkins do, and
Yeah.
I like their version.
Yeah,
I like
I
the
do
version.
too.
Fucking
yeah.
Billy Corgan.
Yep, good old
Yes.
Billy Corgan. Yeah.
I love it.
Jesus.
But anyway, so my whole reason
amazing.
for it's putting it on the back burner, as I'm
Right.
saying, because I want to
Dude,
make sure it's positive, looked in a positive light.
I so feel, and I think, you know, it's such an amazing, you know, topic to have, you know, discuss because, you know, I'm sure if people are listening to this, they're going to relate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because this is the core essence, I think, of everybody's journey. You know what I'm saying? And who wants to be an artist, you know, is everybody has gone through this.
You know what we're gonna have to do?
The you know, but I mean, these motherfuckers out there that grew up wealthy and just like kind of rolled and never had to worry about a job, like, and I know a bunch of these people, you know, and it's just like, it's not right. It's not
Right.
fair, but you know what? It takes away from their art. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, but it's just like some people just don't have to get a job. I don't know. I mean, maybe, do you guys know those people?
I went to
Syracuse,
school
so
with
I know a lot of
those
them.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know a
went to
few
school with a lot
people
of
like
trust
that.
fund people, and that was always and you just
It was
said that
kind
I
so
don't
of like-
relate to those people very well.
I mean, my parents are like, you were like, your mind was fucked because you went to college with a bunch of super rich kids
yeah.
that never had to work.
right.
Like when I
It's
went,
true.
like seriously for spring break, all my friends were like in Jamaica having the time. I was back home painting houses in
Yeah,
March.
I painted
I didn't
houses
even
too.
go anywhere.
With like a
spring
fucking
break 'cause
ice
I didn't have the
scraper,
money.
like doing estimates and being like, "How you doing, sir? Brad Bird here." You know, I'll
I
paint, you know.
totally did that too.
Like I was
I
like I
totally
didn't, you know, I worked. Like I came over
Right,
for
me
summer.
too.
It was like, "Hey Brad, good to see you. Okay, here's your fucking paintbrush." And
That's
like
why I never
like
left. I just worked here during
like
the summers.
I swear to
and
God,
everything.
all I've ever done is work. But I went to school in Syracuse, man. And it fucked my mind up because I
Yeah.
was like, look at all these rich kids from like Long
Yeah.
Island and Jersey and
Yep.
super
I always-
wealthy kids that never had to work. And
But I
I'm not
wanted
even
to
sure they've
work.
ever worked since.
I wanted to work though.
You have such a
know?
better appreciation. And here's the thing: I know, like, if all the shit hit the fan today, I would be able to be like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking figure it out. I'm gonna fucking figure it out. It wouldn't be my undoing emotionally. I'd figure it out and I'd find a new whatever. When we come back in season 2, I feel like we should check in with Lex and her journey. So we can tell people, like, is she actually doing the professional thing?
No,
Did she
totally.
say fuck the professional thing? Did she go back to acting? Like, what happened? So in season 2, guys, you'll hear what Lex is getting into again.
Maybe
so
we'll
we
just
can
call her.
see
We'll call her.
if
you know?
she's like, what's going on in her
Hey.
journey.
You know, what are you doing?
Hey,
you know?
girl.
Well, my dad, he ended up giving me some money. I talked him into it.
Came into some money.
He realized that, you know, he's like, I believe in you. But no, I mean, I feel your pain. I've been there.
Thank you.
I mean, for years, for 10 years, you know, I eked out an existence as a musician. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like every year I thought it was going to be the year. This is the year that it's going to break wide open and the pinata is going to smash open and it's going to rain money and people are going to be buying my music. And every year it got harder.
Yeah.
It got harder and harder and harder. And I feel like with technology and like saturation and like
Right.
population, like just like it's harder and harder and harder. But yet it's easier to get your stuff out there, but it's harder to actually quantify it into any real economic sustenance.
Right.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I totally-
mean, and it's fucking unbelievable, you know? So it's like, yeah. I mean, you know, I had to make some I was at that crossroads too. And I pivoted and I found a way to get another side hustle going on, which is like the smartest fucking thing I ever did in my life, you know? And it's only allowed me to have more money to put into the music, you know, and to do much more with my music than I ever thought, you know,
Right.
even though I was obsessed and married to the fact that I was a musician, I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? And like, that's what I do, you know what I'm saying? And I was
Right.
like teaching and producing and doing all this random little shit here and there that, you know, just, I was broke constantly, you know what I'm saying? And then I was just like, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm at that place too. I was like, I gotta do something different. It's hard. I know it's hard, and you're like, no, this can't be my reality.
I'm like talking in my sleep. I just started talking in my sleep.
But like, we'll talk. We'll talk after the show.
So I think we should end on a positive note.
Yeah, me too.
Like, guys, it's okay to have dreams. It's okay to pursue them.
So,
Shit's
like,
gonna get hard.
Your dreams are shit.
Oh, God.
Don't give up on your dreams.
Welcome
Don't
to
do it.
what's your story? The truth, and it's dark.
Fight the good fight.
It's dark.
But we are What's Your Story, right? We will be back next week with another episode. We'll get into something else with someone else.
Another. Yeah, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to the root of what's happening with you
And
right now.
I'm Chrissy Carpenter, and you are.
I'm Brad Bird.
And thanks, Alexis DiDonato, for joining us on What's Your Story.
Alexis DiDonato.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And guys, you can follow us on Twitter at We Have the Story. Okay, you can follow Brad and I individually.
And Alexis, do you have any like social sites that you
Yeah,
like
do you
are
wanna
big
plug
on,
any of
like
your social
Instagram
media?
or something?
I'm on Instagram, and it's
Are you
Alexis.
just like blowing it up on Instagram?
No, I'm actually like kind of a
You're a
private.
very moderate
I'm
user. You don't use it a ton.
I'm a very private person.
So there's no like straight up mirror shot selfies and shit.
I don't think
No,
so.
she has a couple cute selfies, but
Yeah.
nothing like
I'm
duck
not a big
lips and bikinis or some shit.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not a big
Like,
selfie
let me get the duck
taker.
lips. Let me get the cleavage. Let me
Right.
just get the. I
And
got it.
Exactly.
I got it.
No, yeah, I don't see a lot of that. So, what's your? Do you want to give out your
Oh,
Instagram?
sure. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Alexis Dorian 123 on Instagram.
And I am Chrissy Carpenter on Instagram, and you are.
I don't even know who I am.
You're Brad Bird on
I'm Brad
Instagram
Bird.
with a Y,
Such a great-
guys. With a Y.
You guys have such cool names because like
You-
BBCC.
Chrissy
Well-
Carpenter, Brad Bird, Alexis DiDonato.
Those are all excellent names.
ABCD.
How are you not listening to
God, I
this
see.
podcast?
I see a
Just-
film in our future with all of us starring in it, based on
You
our
know what?
names alone.
Honestly, it's, we got to keep, you know what though? But honestly, life to me is not worth living unless we're trying to get there.
Unless you're doing what you love.
And I don't give a fuck what anybody says about age or anything like that. It's like, it's about the art. If you have the talent and the art, if you have the art in you, you got to just keep doing whatever it takes to get
I
that art
agree.
out of you.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
don't care if
I
you're
do.
83.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just if you got it in you, you got to get it out of you.
That's
It's
right.
it's not about making it. It's about doing it.
Right,
It's
yeah.
not about making the business. It is about making the art. But
Absolutely.
making it is like, it's really counter. It's like it's a byproduct of like doing what you love to do.
Right. No, I
As long as you can continue
I
to
agree.
keep doing some shorts or something like that, or like, I know acting's weird. It's like you need to land the gig to get to
Right,
act,
to get
but,
paid, yeah.
But fucking dude, there's ways to practice the craft. And
There
there's
are.
things to do.
And
So-
we're going to keep doing them. And we're going to check in
Yes.
with Alexis in season 2. And we'll see you guys next
That
week.
means Chrissy's busy. She's got to run because she's got other side hustles going on.
There's another side hustle. I mean, we've been at this for, hour and 15 minutes, kiddo. So I got
There's
another.
somebody right now like in their car with a fucking, they can't turn the fucking
know.
car off. 'Cause they're busy.
We will see you all next week.
All right, guys.
Thanks for tuning in as always, everyone. Bye.
Take care.
What's your story? What's your story? What's your story? What's your story?
Brad, what is your story?
What's your story?